Keep on rolling, baby. You know what time it is. All right, babe. It's a Perch Prime Week 5. In the house, we got G1, Prince Tyler, the commish, and the owner of the greatest Week 4 roster ever assembled, Troy. Cooking hot pockets. He's got to change his team name.
Ooh, I do.
That is true.
He does. He does indeed. All right, kicking her off the right way. 3 weeks in a row. Browns win a game.
Amazing. It was ugly as hell, but amazing win. Amazing team win. Browns have had a lot of these so far this year. Great team win. Baker looked like shit. Some say that his brace on his other shoulders, throwing him off a little bit.
Say.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on, but I do know that he has to get his shit together because the Chargers are a no-fly zone, and that's who we play next. So we'll see if he gets the shit together this week. But he looked terrible.
So, career, after that game,
I still feel confident.
Career passing grades for Baker with Odell, 68.7, without 90.7.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily. I don't think it's an Odell problem anymore. I think it's a Baker issue. Odell's getting open.
Odell was open. They just might not have the same chemistry. I don't know. I hope to God they do, and they get it figured out. But I thought he was pressuring it a little bit to Odell there, staring him down. There was a couple plays where he just stared him down. It's tough. That's tough.
The way you beat the Chargers is you run the football and you pass short.
We know how to do that pretty well.
Short passes. So it might be a good matchup.
Should be.
I'm scared of my Chargers.
Short passes or stutter steps.
Be watching it in Florida. Can't wait.
Yeah. Okay.
By the way, I watched the game with Renato. Coach Stefanski, and he pretty much just. I've never heard a guy root for someone running the ball on 3rd and 10. This guy was dead serious in his eyes, like, run the ball on 3rd and 10. And I'm like, Nato. I'm like, it's 3rd and 10. Like, I get it. We need to run the ball more than we did, and that's probably why we won the game. So Nato probably was right in the end. But, man, it was a tough
What a revelation.
Nato.
Running the ball. That's a crazy revelation.
I know. And he called it.
What did Odell do? I didn't watch any of this game.
Not much. Not much. No.
That's
no highlights for you.
He had a great warm-up, though. All right. Next winner, Bengals. This was Thursday night.
Thursday night game. The fucking Bengals came out and looked like the same primetime Bengals that we've always known. Then the fucking second half came around, and they started playing better. Defense started doing a little better. That fourth quarter, I think they found their fucking identity. They came back. They won on the final drive, and I know what it is. You're gonna say it's the Jaguars, but this is the NFL. Jaguars are bound to win the fucking game. Maybe not anymore, but Jesus Christ, this is a league of parity. Like, you expect them to win one game, at least one game. The Bengals, at their worst, still won a fucking game. But that fourth quarter, last drive, Joe Burrow begged Zach Taylor to go empty sets and just let him throw it. And Zach Taylor let him call the audibles, and it fucking worked out. I think that they finally found an identity. And regardless that it was a Jaguars, a win on primetime for a Bengals fan is huge. So I'm happy with it.
So was that why he was saying just put the ball in my hands in that highlight clip? Because Zach Taylor didn't want to? I guess he was begging Zach because they weren't pass rushing him. So he said, because that might make more sense now that you said that. And I was talking shit about the video about, man, like, easy. That's a lot of cockiness against the Jaguars. But if he's saying that, if he's saying that on the sideline, like, put the ball in my hands more, like, give me some more fucking trust, like, maybe that's a whole different level of respect. So that's a fine line. I was going to hate on him for, saying like that, put the ball in my hands. Like, that's all you got to do. Give it to me. And like, he was so selfish and so not a team player. but I mean, maybe he just needs.
He was just big. Yeah, he wanted to show what he could do.
Troy, rank them rest of the season: Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
Man, it's gonna be.
Jamar Chase,
be up and
number
down.
1. Better deep ball, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd.
Right there. It's got it going.
I will say, sorry, Troy, I was kind of talking over you. I didn't realize I didn't hear Will say. I did read that Chase has been getting shadowed more, and he was getting shadowed by, what's his name? Whoever their best DB was, Barrett or whatever, Shaq.
But the guy with 2 hands, yeah.
So the Bengals actually moved Jamar into the middle in the slot to in the second half, and that opened up the field for Boyd on the outside, I believe.
Ball in his hands. Third winner, 3 weeks in a row. Cowboys. Dalton Schultz, the MVP of the game. I think he had 2 touchdowns. Maybe he only had 1. I'm not sure. He almost fumbled the ball 3 times too. They don't need Cooper. They don't need Lamb. They've just been throwing to the tight ends, giving it to Zeke, giving it to Pollard. That seems to be working until they need it. Whatever. I mean, you think they'd want to give it to Lamb.
With that. I'm fine with being patient.
Be patient. Zeke's back. Trevon Diggs. I think he's the best secondary player the Cowboys have had since Deion Sanders.
Very good. Very
good.
90s. Talking 90s. Roy Williams is up there, but he played safety and he just hit people hard.
Crazy how young those guys are. I googled.
What about Barry Church?
He was born in 98, 97, 98. It's just crazy to think about.
Hey, Joe Hayden used to be good too. Just remember that.
I don't think Joe Hayden ever had 5 picks in the first 4 games of the season, but I could be wrong.
Might have had that in one game. You're right.
Kellen Moore. I don't know what the Cowboys are going to do. Do they fire Mike McCarthy after the season?
I think Kellen Moore is either going to take a head coaching job somewhere else, or Jerry's going to say, "Oh, hold on, Kellen."
I think you could pay him like $5 million a year to be a assistant coach.
You're a little young for my liking, but I think we can work it out.
I got some popsicles in the freezer for you.
There was a tweet that someone said they're going to lose Kellen Moore because Jerry won't pay or doesn't have the money to pay, and then the person rebutted with his yacht, his helicopter, and 2 of his mansions. So they're just.
Yeah, he has the money. I mean, that's.
I'm wondering where Chad Smith is right now. How's he
delivering my mail? He's delivering my mail. I could probably walk outside.
Ask about Dak Prescott next time you see him. You can't hate Dak Prescott now, can he?
There's no way.
I don't know. Are you going to be alive from these gnats? I mean, it looks like you were getting viciously swarmed over there.
This glass of wine is really bringing them around.
It looks like the fucking Hills Have Eyes episode where they got all the body parts everywhere with all the fucking flies going around.
All episode. All right. Yep. Dak, top guy. Pat Miller put him on the same level as Mahomes this week in the chat. I like that one. And then they dropped Jalen Smith today. They play the Giants this week, a division game. Should be 4-1. Moving on, our last winner of the league, the Buccaneers. Sunday night in the rain, they beat the Patriots. Chris Collinsworth had Mac Jones's cock in his mouth all night, saying how great Mac Jones is, how great he's going to be. This team is young. This team is building. They're 1-3.
That
game was close. That game was close.
The game was close, but I think weather had a big part to do with it being close.
Can we bring up the percentages that you guys said of them making the playoffs? You guys were out of your minds. I was the only legit sane one that said 15%. The lowest between you 3 or something was like 60% or something like that. That's insane to say they're going to make the playoffs.
I will look for it. I'm sure it's in here somewhere. Typically, I write it down.
You forgot another winner, the Bears. Will.
No, I got. Oh yeah. Yeah, I did
win over the Lions.
Actually, though, the Bears, they gave Matt Nagy gave up play calling to Bill Lazor, and apparently he ran a lot more protection, 12 personnel, and the line held up a little bit better. And Fields actually got off some fucking deep passes. his deep ball accuracy by the numbers was phenomenal. Like, it was really good.
If Fields has time to throw the ball, he is a really good, accurate deep ball thrower.
I need it for
Allen
Allen
Robinson all the time in Ohio State.
Come on.
But the Bears don't have the line to give him the time right now, and they need to be using him more on rollouts. And you said that Laser did a good job. Laser still did not use Fields the way he should be in the rushing game. He is a weapon, and they need to use him that way. They need to have him rolling out all the time. They're just not doing it the right way. Still, in my mind. Change the play colors all you want.
Trav said Patriots had a 15% chance. Tyler said 65%. That's all I wrote down.
What computer have?
Oh, fuck me.
I didn't have that one. Bears, yeah, Fields and Mooney. There you go.
Should we get to Troy? Our guest.
Oh, the losers of the week yet again. I think that's also 3 weeks in a row. We got the Eagles. Where's the sideways shirt?
Oh, I sent it back. No, they said I can get a refund, and they gave me 25% off to get a new one.
Really?
So
what they do to the little kid in China that
I don't know. He's getting pitched.
So you really did send it back?
Well, I'm washing it.
It's crooked.
It back. It's crooked. It's very crooked. You know what else was crooked? The Eagles' defense. They couldn't defend anything. 72-point game. It looked like a college game out there. 0 punts in the whole entire game. Jalen Hurts looked actually pretty good. Almost threw for 400 yards. Ran for 50-some yards. Offense looked pretty good. Devontae Smith. But season's over. We're not going to win it. I think we just look forward to these draft picks for next year.
Panthers.
The season ended today. We'd have 3 top 10 draft picks from the Colts, Dolphins.
I'm sorry. I think the coaching is bad, but I think you're selling a little bit early on your team, Troy, because I think you have a lot of base, good, young talent here. If you have a quarterback that can figure the system out, or a coaching staff that can figure out how to use this quarterback,
coaching staff is the issue. He might be a one and done guy.
Right, but
he went from
like 1 game. He's going to be one.
He went from 3 runs last week, committed to the run this week, and had 11 runs this week.
While we're on the Eagles, is Kenny Gainwell better than fucking Miles Sanders?
He's not better, but you're on.
They don't like Miles.
You're on to something there. He's very good.
It seems that this new coaching staff, like, they drafted Gainwell and they want him to be who they want him to be, and it's almost like is Sanders on his way out, but they're splitting carries right now because he's still Miles Sanders. Like, what the fuck is going on?
I've watched Sanders carries on the year, and the dude doesn't look like anything special. Like, I'm not.
He doesn't get carries. He's had
maybe he doesn't want to
the last 2 games.
Yep, wasn't impressed with either one of them.
So Jason Kelce was the only one on the line. So those 5 a.m. workouts meant nothing.
Passing the ball.
I'm still not sure why Lane Johnson didn't play in the game.
Let's be honest, though. You can't blame a fucking rookie quarterback. Pretty much is what he is
too.
For a terrible defense that can't stop anything.
No,
which he has to
they
score
put up 30
constantly.
points. Yeah, the Eagles aren't ready to fire their defensive coordinator because they said, look what he did the first 2 weeks against the Falcons and the 49ers.
Falcons, man.
Right. So we'll see.
The Falcons.
I'm just excited for these draft picks. Carson Wentz has still played every game, so he's still on track to play 75% of the snaps to get their first overall draft pick.
Just don't sell low on your team, the Eagles, like you did with Devontae Smith and like Aaron Haynes did with this entire team, okay?
That was also the plus. Devontae Smith with his first 100-yard game. First rookie to do that for the Eagles since 2014, Jordan Matthews.
And you shipped him off as a reward.
I'm fine with that. Devontae Adams, baby.
Riley
I'll
Cooper
take it better than Devontae.
You're good.
Okay. We were talking about Mac Jones. See, we jumped ahead with the Bears and then the Eagles. I want to rank the top 5 rookie quarterbacks so far this year.
Damn, I don't even know who's a rookie.
I will name my top 5. I have Trevor Lawrence as number 1.
Okay.
2, I have Mac Jones, the game manager.
The only reason he's number 1 for you is because you just traded for him in Dynasty.
He looked great Thursday. Did he not?
It's the Bengals without their 2 best players on defense, but yes, he did.
He looked great. I mean, these are the rookie quarterbacks. None of them look good. 3, I got Trey Lance. 4, I got Justin Fields. 5, I got Zach Wilson.
I'm going to go second. I've got number 1, just with 2 quarters of football, Trey Lance. Number 2, I'm going to go Justin Fields. I still believe in his ability and them as a player. Number 3, Trevor Lawrence. Number 4, I've got Zach Wilson. Number 5, Mac Jones.
Wow.
I'm going to agree. Start out with Will on Trevor Lawrence. He's in a really bad situation, but he just started showing some rushing upside. Maybe that was just against the Bengals, but you kind of like to see that he has both of those options. Anytime you get a quarterback that also can run for 30, 40 yards, that's awesome. Next, I'm going to go with Lance. Trey Lance. No, but that's not fair. I would like Lance going forward. So
if you're drafting, that's fine. You could take your top 5 if you're drafting them today.
So it goes Lawrence, Lance, Mac, because of game, like you said, Mac's in a good he's Bill Belichick's quarterback. So Bill's going to try his best to protect him and make him positive plays and not anything negative. And then Fields, because Fields showed some deep ball accuracy, like we already talked about, and Fields has the running ability. Anytime, like that's huge. He better unleash himself. Wilson is absolutely last. That guy is lost out there. He is no confidence. He's fucking. I haven't watched the Jets actually play, but fuck.
He was better. He was better this week.
Was he?
Won.
Okay. But yeah, I'd put Wilson last. Just
damn, Tyler's still not done.
They beat the Titans.
Yeah, they beat the Titans over.
They did in overtime. Both New York teams won in overtime.
Fucking Giants. All right, Troy, you got a list?
Lawrence first, Mac Jones second, Trey Lance, Justin Fields, Zach Wilson. I think Fields and Trey jump up by the end of the season to top 2, though.
I'm not disagreeing with that. Not disagreeing with that at all. I like that.
I like it too.
No, you like Fields. You got him number 2.
Yeah, I do.
Because he's already there.
Listen, I'm looking at it long term. I mean, I thought that's what we were looking at.
That's all right. That's yeah. It was your list. You got it. All right, loser again. Dolphins. Tua may be back this week. Haynes' Dolphins. What's the running back situation down there?
Malcolm Brown outpaced Gaskin last week, but fuck, they're not doing much for running backs at all. Like it's a bad. I don't understand. Obviously, I'm a Gaskin owner talking like this, but I just don't understand why he's not getting any checkdowns. They talked about wanting to be conservative with him, and then he out-snapped Malcolm Brown like first 2 weeks. Still didn't do much. I don't know, but fucking dumpster fire for fantasy purposes in that backfield.
Unfortunately, your ship has sailed on shipping off Myles Gaskin moderately high, because I shipped him off last week and for Damian Harris. That is as high as you're gonna get for him.
That's not that high though.
I mean, still though, you're not gonna get anything near that now for him. After
I'm in it for the long haul. You're right.
And it's like, what? Like, what do you do? I mean, you got Ahmed back there, you got Brown there, and like, what the fuck are they doing giving Brown that many touches? Dude's like 32 years old, isn't he? Yeah.
I don't understand how the Dolphins were trending so far up, and now they're trending so far down.
Yeah, they've been the most disappointing team this season for sure.
Fuck.
Come on, Haynes, get it together. Give me my $100. And then last transition here, we got Ferg and his Jaguars. Coming into the biggest NFL story of the week, Urban Meyer. It's in the hot tub.
Doesn't look pretty. Little finger
I don't even think the video was that bad. I don't think he needed to come out and do this press conference apologizing. You need to play off Trump. Do what Trump does. They bring shit at him. He just bats it away. He's like, yeah, I don't care about that.
Hey,
and then it goes away. The stories go away.
It's like, you see that dead bunny in the ditch? Yeah, fuck.
I saw a thread on Twitter. I almost posted the group, but it was like I think it was a beat writer, and he like had some inside information from a player he talked to, said that like Urban came in the locker room, said what he said, and he left, and they all busted up laughing at him, and that he's just lost. He's lost it. He doesn't have the locker room. They think he's a joke. So
And
it's not going
owner
good there
came out
at all.
saying he needs to figure things out, and I don't.
What are you doing?
Regain their trust.
I stand by my quotes. He's the best con man there fucking is, and he's about to con USC into another big contract.
Ow! My heart.
I just don't get it. I mean, a coach cheats on his wife. What's the big deal? Were you gonna fire him for doing that? Like,
right? It has nothing to do with football.
Yo, but
I don't know if it was like
even
a beat back with the team for that reason though.
Yeah, even a beat reporter said that's the first time in like 16 years or whatever they've heard of someone not fucking flying back with the team. Like, yeah, when does the head coach not fly back with the team?
It's true.
What?
Yo, if they would have won two, if they would have won,
not a head
maybe
coach
it's a little
move.
different.
That's a guy's move that's on his way out of being a head coach.
He's already on thin ice. Fuck, they don't even. The players hate it. Like
he doesn't like it. You can tell.
What a bad experiment.
He's like,
I've seen
it's
some
not
people
cool
saying
down here.
you shouldn't have phones in bars too. None of this would have happened if someone wouldn't have taken that video.
Yeah, some offer
Someone's
50% off if you give them up at the door.
Fucking cocksucker that took that video.
All right, second story of the week, London week. We got Jets Falcons. You guys watching? Of course you're watching. It's at 9:30 for you. This game's at 6:30 in the morning.
Nobody gives a fuck about this game. I will not be watching this game.
Oh, I'll be up at 6:30 watching.
I'll be landing in Florida and I'll say, fuck that. Give me the beach.
Cordell Patterson for 50 in London.
By the way, if you have Cordell Patterson, Haynes, sell as high as the goddamn moons because he ain't gonna ever score that shit again.
I tried to snag him last week. Haynes likes his Cordero.
Only on 26 snaps he did that too.
Third story of the week. I just got Big Ben. He stinks.
Terrible.
I don't know what you do if you're the Steelers. You can't bench Big Ben, but you kind of have to.
You
need to trade or some shit. Get him out of there, bro.
Did you guys see that look between Tomlin and Rodgers? They're like smiling at each other, winking, like it's destined to be next year.
No, I didn't see that.
God, that'd be awesome.
They put a nice like love song behind
That's
it.
what all of these
funny.
degenerate Pittsburgh fans have been saying. So I hope it hasn't spread it into your brain, Troy, because that's not happening. Aaron Rodgers does not want to reside in the fucking hills of.
It was just on a TikTok that I saw.
There's no way, and he doesn't do TikTok with Juju, so he definitely doesn't want to go there.
Tyler, you got anything to say about Facebook and Instagram yesterday?
No, I use Twitter.
Me too. All right. Next, we got Transaction Tyler.
Big week.
Do we? All right. We got a lot of trades on board, on deck, however you want to say it. I usually do talk about bets, but because we have so many, we're going to skip the bets this week. We'll come back. Trav's doing really well in his bets. We'll just say that. So, actually, like, we had two trades where Haynes gave up, I think, a lot of talent, and I actually wanted to pass on. I didn't want to talk about it. I wanted to pass it on to the other guys in here, but our producer said, I'm Transaction Tyler, so you got to fucking talk about it. I'm just kidding. But, all right, so first big trade popped off. Haynes traded Gesicki, John Taylor, and A.J. Brown to Troy for Chuba Hubbard and Darren Waller. I heard on a podcast they pronounce it Chuba Hubbard. Is that what it is?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was Chuba. So I think that trade, I don't know. It's a ridiculous trade. Just Troy got tight end 11, Gesicki, Jonathan Taylor, who was not having the best season, but he's running back 19, 25 points, I think, this week, right? Went off.
He's back.
AJ Brown's hurt. But when he comes back, wide receiver 1. Darren Waller, tight end 5. I was looking at the numbers, and Gesicki got a goose egg week 1. But if he was averaging everything, they'd be, 10 points off each other. And who was it? Hubbard's a rental. He's a rental. He got 9 points. I mean, there was guys I picked up Brandon Bolden. He got fucking 14 points. I mean, once Chuba's done and CMC comes back, this trades Gesicki, John Taylor, AJ Brown for Darren Waller.
Haynes is trying to trade Chuba right now for RB2. If anybody wants to give up an RB2,
and Chuba didn't even catch balls. He's not even a receiving back, so he doesn't fill that CMC role that Mike Davis did last year. It's a completely different guy.
Yeah, and McCaffrey could get hurt again, though. I mean, he's
not as good as Haynes thought he was going to be. I don't think, and that's why that trade has been such a bummer. Is because you don't go by ESPN's projections of projecting Chuba for 18.9 points. Like what? Like ESPN.
You just see that and like, oh, he's sweet.
People live by the projections.
If anyone should be trying to trade for him, it's Mike, because he needs that. I think he's a good handcuff. He's a great handcuff.
True.
So I think I'll agree. Troy, what do you think? You give me something, because you got three big names that, I mean, two of these guys are potential first-round picks.
Unreal.
What do I think? Well, obviously, I made the trade. Obviously, I think I made out in it.
Did you? Would you have given him? You would have given him more, probably, right? If he would ask for more. Let's be honest.
I don't know who I would have give. I don't
know.
So
what if it's Kelsey? What if Haynes got Kelsey? Would that make it a more
Waller will have his games though where he
Waller's good. Don't get me wrong. I think Gesicki produces enough that it's some weeks they're gonna, as we saw, Gesicki.
Brown wasn't producing when he was healthy. Jonathan Taylor's banged up. That whole offense is banged up. That whole team's banged up.
John Taylor
Gesicki just had a good week. Doesn't mean he's going to have more. I mean, especially when Tua comes back. When Tua comes back, Gesicki's wiped off the planet Earth. You're going to be on the waiver wire picking up a tight end.
He was very spotty last year. Let's get to the second trade because I think it's worse.
All right. Haynes then turns around and trades away Kyler Murray, Laviska Shenault, Javonte Williams to Trav for DJ Moore, Kirk Cousins, and Tony Jones. First of all, Kyler Murray, he's our QB2. That fucking guy is amazing. Kyler Murray is a cheat code as quarterbacks go.
Number one fantasy player, and he's going to be the NFL MVP this year.
Yeah, and Shenault is Trav gets this Shenault fucking guy. He gets 17 points. That's a great
traded for him the right week, huh?
Yep. And then you got Javonte Williams, who's a rookie. He averages double-digit touches a game. Like, the guy's only going to become more involved and better as the Broncos progress through the season. I mean,
Melvin Gordon seems to be the red zone back, though, and I don't really see that changing. Is the only thing with Javonte.
We'll see. Well, I mean, did you see the carry of him carrying like two guys for like 10 yards? I mean, they were on his back and he just kept going for 10 fucking yards. Like, you don't want that in the red zone? Believe me, the coaching staff will come around. Melvin Gordon's already got a lower leg injury and a rib injury. He's still playing, mind you, because he's getting paid all that fucking money. You got a lower leg injury, you got a rib injury, you can move, get your ass on the field. We're paying you $14 million this year. You know?
I don't see it becoming Javonte's backfield though. I think it's always going to be split.
I don't see no reason why he can't
be
I would change. And I think the backup would come in and split.
No.
So the saving grace this week in this trade, because we'll be monitoring it, was DJ Moore going. DJ Moore's been awesome. There's no denying it. He's wide receiver 4, but he got 36.9 points this week. Fucking went off. Had one of those weeks where you get a guy like that going off, your chances of winning a game are improved. Like, one player goes for 30 or more points. That's huge.
Against Trevon Diggs too.
That's crazy.
Not true. Trevon Diggs was actually out in the fourth quarter, and that's actually when most of this happened. I believe both the touchdowns happened when Diggs was out of the game with the thigh cramp or something.
Moore's last touchdown, there was a play before it that was like supposed to be for someone else, and there was a flag or something. It was kind of a fluky thing, and I guess Moore got it on the second try and took it in deep. The other player, or the second player involved, Kirk Cousins, who Trav fucking sold Kirk Cousins at his fucking highest. This guy was putting up way more than expected fantasy points.
I'll trade him 1-for-1 for Kyler.
But man, did Trav sell Kirk at his fucking highest. Congratulations. And then the other guy involved was Tony Jones, who's back up to Kamara. Kamara's not doing good. Tony Jones got carted off the field.
He's out like 5 weeks.
So the trade essentially becomes Kyler, Shenault, and Javonte for DJ Moore and Kirk Cousins at Kirk Cousins' highest. Yes, you're fucking laughing. I know. We're in a league with this guy.
I think that trade was worse than the Troy one. That's my. All right, Trans, you got more.
Yeah. Well, today Mike made some moves with Rick. Mike got rid of injured Gronk. He's out next week, and Melvin Gordon. He gave him to Rick for Dalton Schultz, tight end 3. Joe Mixon, running back 14, maybe injured for the week. But
doesn't matter because he got his handcuff.
Yep. And then the next trade, AJ Green. Rick got AJ Green for Mixon's handcuff, Samarjah Perrine, and Cole Beasley. That AJ Green trade made the trade seem a little bit more fair. But Mike gave away an injured tight end that was tight end 2 for a tight end 3. And Melvin Gordon, who we just kind of talked about, we think he might go trend down as Javonte Williams starts trending up.
As a man with a bet against Rick for the season-long standings, I love this bet, but at the same time, I don't like this bet because he gives Mike fucking Mixon to go with Chubb and CMC, and if those 3 guys are healthy, which sounds like Mixon's gonna be more day to day than week to week, like this is a silly overreaction trade of Rick just being in the whole one
margarita trade.
I don't know. Maybe was he drinking that early? I don't know. Maybe.
You could almost say that Rick sold Dalton Schultz as high, but if I had Dalton Schultz, what I've seen, Blake Jarwin's back healthy, and Dalton Schultz is still the majority leader of tight end snap share, target share.
Yeah.
He's like Dak loves him. So there's no denying that. Blake Jarwin being back and healthy is not hurting Dalton Schultz at all.
Rick sold his soul to the devil for 1 week in the RB2 slot.
Blake Jarwin is the giant killer. He's got like 5 TDs in his career. They're all against the Giants. So we'll see. Cowboys play the Giants this week. All right. You got more, Trans?
We got one more fucking trade. We got Pat and Troy making a trade. Troy just got Devontae Adams, and he got rid of CEH and Devontae Smith, right? That was it?
And Lockett.
Oh, and Lockett. I knew it was someone else.
T. Higgins, Devontae. Wait, who?
Troy
Lockett, Edward Helaire, and Devontae Smith for Devontae Adams.
That is so much.
Adams is wide receiver 7, but we know he's capable of wide receiver 1 every single week. Pat got what he needed, but again, Troy got loaded up with another person. I'm not trying to give Troy a freaking suck, but Devontae Smith had a good game. I could argue that CEH was sold really high.
Yeah, he was.
Back-to-back, 20-point performances after getting less than 10 first 2 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Troy, yeah, I mean,
Troy, I think it helps both of our teams quite a bit. In my aspect, I gave up Lockett, the only starter of that trade, for Devontae Adams.
So
CEH. I got Taylor and Cook.
What we have here in this trade is another example of someone selling their soul. Troy is up high. He feels confident enough to sell 3 solid players. They're, mind you, mostly bench players for Troy, but they're 3 solid bench players, which you're going to need throughout the year to fill your bye weeks and injuries and this and that. Troy did get top heavy with this trade with getting Adams, but he also thinned out a lot in his bench. And
I'm not going to disagree.
Not as scary anymore. Smith is very playable with some of his matchups, especially if he keeps tearing it up like he has been. He's been getting air yards even on the games that he hasn't done good. He's got a shit ton of air yards. Lockett has torn it up. You got to change your team name now. The third person, you gave CEH up. Who knows? Maybe that is at the highest right now for CEH, but that also could be, man, CEH is just getting started. I don't know. That's a lot for one player. You know what I mean? But you know what? I can't say much because I traded for 3 pieces of shit players. So, these 3 players are a lot better. I don't blame Pat for taking it.
before my segment's over, there's a few things while I have this time I want to bring to light. Nato kept calling me out for like the Derrick Henry, Alvin Kamara thing. Like, I still don't think Kamara was a bad pick. Derrick Henry, like, is having a freak season. This guy has 30 more carries than the next running back, so he's a game ahead of every running back in the league than carries. Good job. Like, the Titans are finally giving Derrick Henry first half of the season like they usually do at the end. They're just,
that's all they fucking
everyone's
got
hurt
right now. What's up,
He's
man?
on pace for 540 carries. He's not going to get 540 carries.
Those are his high school numbers right there.
Kamara this week was not targeted for the first time in his entire career. I was listening to PFF podcast, and they were talking about Kamara average receptions weeks 1 through 4, and he gets over 30 receptions every season. So it's weird.
So Renato is a god, and he is right. Yeah. And Derrick Henry gets more receptions than Alvin Kamara, and you fucked up. And he's
got the cheat code. He's got the cheat code. It doesn't matter that Alvin Kamara has been what he's been, because this season Nato knew that even though he got handed Derrick Henry.
Very much so.
Who has Hollywood Brown? I saw a crazy fucking stat about him today.
Zach does.
So Hollywood Brown, some guy said that if Hollywood saw this on Twitter, if Hollywood Brown would have caught one of his 3 touchdowns that he dropped against Detroit when he had that awful game, just one, he would be PPR wide receiver 6 with at least 19.1 points per game. And if he caught all 3, he's wide receiver 1.
Can I also tell you something, Tyler, that last year, if he would have caught a lot of his passes thrown his way, he probably would have been the wide receiver 1 last year, too. He didn't.
No, we're talking about the 3.
Just like he dropped all those
3
passes
specific open drops he had where they were in his
hand. Right. I know. I watched him last year, and the dude's inconsistent as fuck when it comes to catching the ball.
Right.
That's what you get with Marquise Brown. He could blow up, could be better, but he's not going to get better when Rashad Bateman comes back. I can tell you that.
Maybe. Why not?
All right.
Maybe he starts catching the ball.
Okay, we got Trav tweet of the week. This week's tweet of the week was the Progressive commercial that Trav tweeted. 1, Baker ain't funny. 2, Baker's the weak link on the Browns. 3, don't post gay-ass commercials we have to watch on TV anyway, motherfucker.
That was before it came out on TV, so I was giving you
I don't give a shit. I watch it on
preview,
Sundays.
okay?
I don't need it on damn Group Me. All right, Trav, your time. Week in review.
Here we go. We had another great weekend of football, fantasy football analysis. We may as well start off with the greatest upset of the week. No, Troy, I'm not talking about you. JPP slapped me 3, put his big boy pants on, had Patty Mahomes with 5 touchdowns under the 300-yard mark. D. Johnson with 25. He was up 4 points going into the Monday night game with 2 players left to play. You know, when you have 2 players left to play while your opponent has none is literally the best situation you could possibly be in fantasy football, especially, when you're up. Now, Rail Rolls, Kusho shows that he, Aaron Jones, DeAndre Hopkins, Cooper Kupp, Odell Beckham Jr., they're all mortal. Oh, and they all score less than 12 points this week. 156-99. Do you guys hear that? 0 RB. 0 RB. 0 RB. Do you guys hear that? 0 RB. The chants have broken back out for 0 RB. It was a little low there. I'm sorry, but the crowd wasn't very loud. Gwill's fantasy team, his drafting strategy, his all-around daily living. We all thought Will was a fucking idiot with this whole computer and everything this computer had to say, especially when Will drafted both of the Arizona Cardinals running backs. We all said, what are you doing, Will? Well, it turns to find out we're not the fucking idiots. Will's the fucking idiot for not starting both of them this week. They both scored over 20 points. This is the only time this is going to happen, Will. But please start them from now on out. Dak 400. He throws for 188 yards. Diggs finally has his breakout game. By breakout game, I mean 100-yard game. Nothing really special there. Nemo Hose, he's just going to Nemo wins if he wants to compete this year in the Perch FL. Russell Wilson had a solid game, 18. Zeke with 25. DK 16 was not enough for the ever-swelling 0 RB. 125-116. What's everyone's favorite movie as a teenager?
Forrest Gump.
American Pie.
Titanic.
Well, the only answers are Gladiator, Braveheart, The Patriot, and, yep, you guessed it, The Matrix. And Ferg dove head first at his chance to enter Mike's Matrix as Agent Smith. Love the name change, Ferg. Hurricane Neo, the one, the ever so powerful, is hardly hitting 100 points this week. I don't even think he fucking did. Oh, he hit 102. Everyone on Mike's team scored under 20 points. Saquon Barkley with 32 points for Ferg, finally showing up this week, did his best Neo the One impression and jumped inside Mike's fat fantasy team and blew it the fuck up. Excellent job, Ferg. Way to shut this dude up. You know what? He blew it up like Mike's toilet on a Monday morning after a tough Bears loss. Ferg gets his first win in the Perch FL this year, 123-102. All right, moving on. We got to get faster. Our game of the week is next on the plate. And before I hop into the game of the week, I just want to give a couple away through 3-week awards. I just want to say, Tyler, thank you very much for your video of the week. That is the video of the year so far. Thank you. No, thank you so much. I mean, everyone's hearts and stomachs, they enjoyed warmth, they enjoyed laughter. Everybody loved the filter you put on. It was great. Excellent video. On the other side of the spectrum, Nato had himself the worst fucking video I've seen of the year so far. And I made this a game of the week because I expected good videos. Now, Nato shows up at my house late, and I literally say to him, dude, it's like past the 1 o'clock start time. Like, where's your video of the week at? He's like, oh, shit, blah, 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 blah. And he makes that bullshit 15-second video on the couch, which is pretty much him just showing his glass Heineken bottle and sticking it up and just, I gave him a lot of shit after he did the video. I said, now you got to redo the video. You got to go out back. You got to fucking redo this whole thing. Amber actually stuck up for him. She's like, oh, I thought it was fine. I said, God damn it. I said, you're not in this league. And I said, that was a bullshit trash video where he just cheers his fucking beer bottle. Nato, that's disrespectful to the game of the weeks, and I expect everyone to have a little bit better game of the week video, not just a fucking cheers to the camera. With that being said, rant over. Long story short, Nato needs to change his team name to Scary Henry. Tyler may be in trouble, but Nato keeps the tradition true. 126-88. Speaking of Heineken, Heine had himself a solid day for Squad Day Cool Cat. An absolute embarrassing performance for Pat's running backs, one of which he won't trade to me, DeAndre Swift. An exhilarating performance by Tyreek Hill. He has a couple of these a year. He's already had 2 of these this year. He puts up the third 50-burger this week. I believe, even with 95 points on Zach Keesler's bench, 95 points on his fucking bench, still pulls off the win. Not only pulls off the win, he doubles Pat's points, and he proves that Zach Pack is back in a big way. Cool Cat doubles the football team, 165-182. Well. After an active week of trading and getting straight up hated on for it, Aaron Haynes pulled himself up a white rabbit out of the hat of his lucky hat that he holds around there, I guess. Or does Haynes know what he's actually doing? DJ blows up, probably going to be the wide receiver 1 of the year. Waller does decent, 15 points, not as good as Gesicki, though. Troy was sure to point that out. Touted the best team in our league, Troy was, didn't even put up 100 points this week. He just lost to the worst team. Troy lost faith in his Eagle. He didn't start Devontae Smith. He traded Devontae Smith, and he lost faith in Lamar Jackson. This guy called me before the games. He asked me my advice for Lamar Jackson and Baker Mayfield, and I told him Baker Mayfield's going to light it the fuck up because I thought he was going to, and then goddamn, I was so embarrassed. I told Troy I was going to call him back later in the day. I didn't because I know what he was going to say, and he knew what I was going to say, and we already knew the whole conversation. But you know what? Browntown, he gets his first win in the Perch FL. He tried really hard. He's a new teammate now. I'm not sure what it is, but 133-84. Then there was the rivalry matchup of the week that wasn't the game of the week, me versus Rick. He was down 17.6 points going into the Monday night game with Henry Ruggs to play. Will called it out all week. He said the Chargers are going to shut down Ruggs. They're going to shut down this offense and the passing offense. They came awfully close. 7 points close. But you know what? Debo fucking Samuels. I don't even know how many times I ran around my fucking house saying Debo. Mind you, I already ran around the house a lot saying Debo after the 76-yarder touchdown. I said it a lot. But after that garbage time touchdown, I was running around like a madman saying Debo, about drunk out of my goddamn mind. Loved it. Pretty much won me the game. Made me feel a little bit better about the Laviska Shenault 99 yards, not hitting that 100-yard bonus. Extra 5 points would have been huge. That is okay because you know what? It's a good thing Rick has some sweet poontang at home because he ain't getting no love in the Perch FL this year so far. Debo reigns supreme, 120-112. That's all I got for this last week.
We gotta go back to Transaction Tyler's segment. We forgot our two favorite part. Well, our one favorite part, our new favorite part, hot guys.
No, we got that later. I got it.
Oh, that's coming up.
Real quick, Troy, when are you gonna not take advice from Trav anymore on Sundays for who your stuff is?
I didn't even think about it till after the fact.
Baker's shoulder's more fucked up than I thought. I will say that.
Quit and sit Lamar. That's crazy talk.
Yeah, don't.
Minnesota's defense I didn't think was that good. Denver's showing number one on ESPN scared me a little bit.
Don't trust ESPN. If that doesn't prove it even
never
more.
Trust ESPN.
You play your studs.
Records last week: Nato went 3-4, Trav went 3-4, Gwil went 2-5, Tyler went 2-5. Shitty week all around.
What? I needed that win, baby.
On the year, Will/computer really is 16-12. Tyler is 14-14. Trav's in last 13-15. First beatdown of the week also lost. Next up, we got Hot Guys. Last week's Hot Guys, AJ Green, 8.2 on the hot scale. Tyler, he did pretty well. He's definitely proven himself as a pretty hot guy. Tyler Conklin, 7.2. Kendrick Bourne, 6.3. Titans receiver, I don't know who it was, 7.4.
Chester Rogers went off for 15 points.
15 points, 7.4. That was your second hottest. You're killing the hot guys. Only 3 waiver wire pickups last week. Not sure what people are doing.
We're gonna hit on the waiver, the fab, real quick before we get to the hot guys, because it's pretty funny. There was 2 people bid on, or two bids. The Bengals were a top 10 defense going against a winless team, and I don't usually like to run their defense, but they've been good up front. Their front seven's been solid. So I scooped them up for $150 fucking fab dollars, and I could have spent $1 and got them. It was like one of the worst fab pickups so far this season. I'm sure there's been worse with position players, but come on. I thought someone was going to want them. You know, they're top 10 defense going against that shitty team. But then Gwil put up $1 for Gio Bernard and got him. The injured Gio Bernard not from the Bengals, the one that plays on the Buccaneers, right? All right, let's get into hot guys.
Get into it.
First hot, I had to put this. I'm going to talk about this guy first, just because we don't have many running backs available on our waivers that are hot guys. But this fucking guy, Khalil Herbert, for the Bears, a spot opens up for this guy. Week 1, so he's a rookie for the Bears, as we know. Montgomery's out 4 to 5 weeks. Sounds like it could be longer, depending. And Damian Williams will probably end up getting like 70% snap share. I'm sure the Bears like running with one guy. But this rookie, I was taking a look real quick. Khalil Herbert, week 1, he had 10.6 points, and week 3, he had 9.5. So it's nothing crazy, but that was when, right, Montgomery, Williams, and him were all sharing backfields, I assume.
I think Williams has been banged up too. Williams has been banged up too.
Yeah, he's actually. I think he has an injury, or he will have an injury designation. Pretty sure, but he's got to be considered a hot guy. It's not that hot. He's like a 6.2. But if you're looking for 10, I mean, his floor's been about 10 points, and he's now going to be Tim and Damian, maybe injured Damian Williams. So he gets first recognition.
He's the last guy at the bar. You're heading home. You need something. Might as well hit up Khalil Herbert for a 6.2.
I love it. Detroit wide receiver. This guy Khalid, or it was Khalid maybe? Maybe I spelled it wrong. I can't remember.
Last guy was Khalil.
Khalif Raymond. He got 13.9 points, I think, the week before. Oh, what did I write down? I fucked up. Oh, yeah. I think the week before he got 13.9 points. He got 22.5 points this past week. He had 2 touchdowns, so it was really relying on that. But this guy had 75% of snaps, 15% target share. I mean, I had that Cephas guy from Detroit as a hot guy before. Detroit's kind of getting a new hot guy every week, maybe, because they have nobody. So he's like a 5.5 on the fucking Richter hot scale. He's not that hot, but
you can leave him at the bar.
Yo, if there's a receiver out there getting 22.5 points, everyone's got to be thinking, like, how did I not see that coming? Like, what the fuck? That's a good score. I can't get any of my receivers to do that. Right.
He's hotter than Allen Robinson.
Yeah, he might be. Trav dropped this guy, Van Jefferson. He had 21 points. He was 6 for 6, so he had 6 targets. He caught them all, 90 yards, a touchdown. He's had 19 or more points twice now this season. He's looking pretty hot. I mean,
it's just tough when you have Woods, Kupp, Deshaun Jackson, him, Higbee. It's roulette. It's just like the Cowboys. He's been hitting the roulette early.
Or I guess the other side of it is Cooper Kupp blew up, so our team's stopping Cooper Kupp, and guys like Van Jefferson now are going to be looked at less and be maybe more open. Van Jefferson, he gets like a 7.1 on the hot.
Ooh, big boy.
10.1?
7.1.
I like.
I was going to put this out later, but I think it's a good time to do it. I looked at the acquisitions this year so far. Trav has 66. So you saying Trav dropped this guy doesn't really mean much because he's dropped pretty much every guy. He's got 66. Mike has 32 in second place. Then Tyler, you're in third with 11, and everyone else is lower than 11. 66.
0.
You have 6 times the amount of fucking.
Tell you what,
I don't know if
I know what's going on in this head.
No, I don't want a minute in that head.
It's like John Gruden.
Hey Tyler, I got a question about a hot guy.
Well, I have one more hot guy. Do you think it could be?
I have
you
a
what?
hot guy too. That's hotter than any of your hot guys.
Last but not least, the return of Randall fucking Cobb. 23.9 points, 6 targets, 5 receptions, 2 touchdowns. MVS, what his name, Van Skeldon, he was out. I almost picked up Lazard when the news first broke, But I was just like, I don't think Rodgers really likes Lazard. I think he hates him. Every time I'm watching a primetime game, Lazard does something stupid, and Rodgers is like having a word with him. Cobb, I mean, again, is Cobb from Devontae Adams being covered so much, and Rodgers has. Let's give Cobb my
They
highest
love
so
each
far.
other.
Let's give Cobb 7.5.
7.5. No AJ Green. But he's
AJ
a
Green's
keeper. All right. Is that the hot
Troy
guy?
had something, though.
What
Troy had
do you
something.
think about your guy who put up 26.5 points for the Bengals tight end? Is that a bust?
Uzama.
Apparently he was good a couple years ago in fantasy.
I would think he benefited from the banged up receivers, but the Bengals have like decent depth at receiver still, and Uzama's like he's finally fully back from a Achilles injury. So I honestly don't know. I don't know if he's like finally healthy or they were banged up.
Love that quote from Uzama where he said that Joe Burrow called the audible and winked at him, and he looked at him like, this dude's fucking crazy, and then he threw it to him and it was a touchdown. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
they could have gained some trust that game.
Uzama looked like you can't ignore this guy for the rest of the season, but I don't know. I like him, but at fantasy purposes, I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe I'll pick him up. I need a tight end. Logan Thomas injured.
Another tight end I want to talk about. One of my hot guys, Max Williams. He's proved he's Arizona's tight end, and this dude's he's
been picked up and dropped. Like I think Mike picks him up once a week.
Not yet.
All right.
There's one more hot guy, tight end, Mo Alley Cox. Had 2 touchdowns last week by Carson Wentz. Big boy.
The return?
Big
Dude,
boy.
I love that guy.
Carson Wentz always
loves.
He loves Hurts. He likes tight ends.
Damn. Okay.
He likes those tight ends.
Yeah, I know another guy in our league that might, but I'm not going to say his name.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I love you, bro.
Pittman is averaging like 12 targets a game, Colts-wise. I got computer ranks, power ranks.
12 Colts targets is like 4 regular other team targets.
He only gets 66 yards out of it, but it's always something. Number 14, we got Tyler. Number 13, we have Haynes. Number 12, we have the 0-4 Nemo Hose. Number 11, we have Rick. Number 10, we have Couchot, who I believe is 3-1. Number 9, we have 2-time champ, Agent Smith. Ferg. 8, we have Mr. Debo hunting Perch FL titles. Number 7, we have JPP. Number 6, we have Finley football team. Number 5, Squad to Cool Cat. Number 4, Neo the One. Number 3, the men who stares at butts. Number 2, cooking hot lockets, and number 1, 0 running back. Those are your power ranking computer list. Can't explain it. I can't explain it. That's just what I got.
You guys need to take it easy on Nato, all right? Listen. Woo! Some people can't handle all the heat we throw in the kitchen at all times, and a lot of times we know that we're just joking in the Perch FL, or we're just, giving you a tough question or something like that. This is all a brotherhood of love. I mean, no one means any mean spirits at any point in time. Everyone's just trying to give everyone a hard time, or at least that's what I tell myself when you guys are all fucking hounding me as the commissioner.
I promise I just love roasting. Like, I get it back. Like, it's if we weren't roasting each other, we really
that's what it's all about.
We almost broke you, Trav, a year or 2 ago, though. You were thinking about resigning
last year,
and
what? I didn't know that. Sorry,
I'm just kidding. I was gonna quit the league if it didn't turn away from the keepers. I had enough of it, and I was really the chat because Haynes was hounding me, saying how it makes the playoffs every year, and I'm never in the playoffs, and I was just fucking at the end of my rope.
Well, let's
gotta sign off every now and then.
If Haynes would have kept that team, it wouldn't have been anything special that we would have been, whatever about. But
he would have traded them away.
Listen, this league has been through a lot. Everyone, I mean, all together, everybody as a brotherhood. That's what it's all about. Everybody love everybody. And listen, when a man's in a fucking trench and he's feeling down, we're here to pick that motherfucker up, all right? And that's
unless
what
he's fucking
about.
calling
It's
you out,
all
bragging
fun and
to you
games.
about his
It's
team.
all fun and games. Obviously, Haynes. Let's get to the quote of the weeks real quick. Haynes even said it himself in the quote of the week. Just because of this topic, I'm going to make it the quote of the week, which we have a couple of them to go through real quick. If you guys are okay with that, they're all fucking quality. We didn't do that yet. I'm going to start off with Haynes, though. He said, I love how all the things the world disapproves of is located in this chat. He's completely right. We bash each other. We talk shit. We are racist. We're not like racist, but Mike thinks he's black. Mike thinks he's black, so he thinks he can talk.
Yeah, he does. He does.
And he cannot talk like he's black, which can see how that could be seen as racist. We're not
he gets shot in Toledo.
Or he'll just punch someone and run off. Either way. So that was the first quote, and that stands true. I mean, we just, we can't take all that shit seriously. Second quote of the week, though, Mike Hessen himself, speak of the devil. If Coach Height wouldn't have sexually abused me, I would have been all-state punter and would have went to the U, and I would have been drafted to the Bears, and my life would be sweet. Addicted to pain meds, hookers, and Adderall. Instead, well,
Carry Ohio instead.
Oh, so good. Last quotes of the week. Multiple quotes here. Oh, this is a good one. Sorry. Both were in need of a running back like Nato needs glass by Gwill. That was amazing. And then Gwill had another rant. I'm sorry. This is the one I confused that with. He said, what a day. Dad here can't catch a break. Back-to-back years. I piss my pants at least once a day now. Never shaken enough. Happened the last 2 times. Drinking, though. And Troy then under that said, my briefs are soaked currently. Think it's come, though. And this actually made me feel human because every now and then when I'm at a Browns game and I'm like rushing to get back, I'll think I've shaken enough and I don't. And yep, I feel that little dribble in my pants. And you know what? That's a sign that we're getting old. And the fact that we're getting old. And you know what?
Always dribbling.
I piss my pants though. It's not a couple dribbles. It's.
I know. Sometimes mine goes down my leg, shoots down to my ankle, and I'm like, how the fuck's that even possible?
Yeah, exactly. When it gets down to your ankle, you gotta wonder.
That's never happened to me.
By the way, I'm scheduling. Hey, Dr. Gwill, what do I need to schedule for? Because I piss all the time. What do I need to call him and say, hey, I piss a lot? Like,
that's a good
thing. I have diabetes. You probably have diabetes.
I don't have diabetes, you fuck.
We gotta get.
You got COVID.
Games of the week. We're already over an hour. Tyler versus Trav. Let's run through this quick.
Trav, I'm still dealing with injuries on all my wide receivers. Trav's got it.
It's pretty much a bye week for me. I'm gonna take it.
Ooh.
What? Are you dead ass?
You haven't scored over 100 points once this year?
Maybe.
Trav takes it 76% of the time.
It would be the game against me. You put up like 140 though, you motherfucker. You would.
Next up, we got Troy versus Cushot.
Troy.
I'm taking the Hammer, which, by the way, I recently saw he changed his team name back to the Hammer. I like it.
This is the beatdown of the week, which lost last week for the first time. Troy, 91% of the time. That might be the beatdown of the year.
I've never heard that many. Yeah.
Is that because he hasn't started his lineup yet, though?
Probably. If you do that, then it throws everything off.
Right.
That's not... Pat versus Mike.
Mike.
I got Pat.
I'll take
Troy?
Mike.
Mike's lineup now is just so gross. And his lineup isn't even what it will be. But he's got fucking running backs for days. Come on.
I couldn't believe he got the handcuff to Mixon. That was whatever.
Oh, my God.
Mike, 60% of the time. We got Haynes versus Nato.
I got Nato winning.
Nato.
I got Nato winning over Haynes, too.
Cordell ain't getting no 40.
Cordell was a sell high. I want to quickly say, I was going to mention it. If I was Rail, I would have sold Cordell before trading any of those other guys because this guy, law of averages.
Haynes.
Yeah. Cordell's going to come down
Rail.
At some point. He's not going to do,
You see Rail and Haynes, we're talking trades this morning. Something's a brewing that's going to be pretty fishy here soon.
Rail do not trade for Cordell.
I'll bet a Telluride's got to do with it.
They like Nato 66% of the time. Kier versus Ferg.
By the way, this is our game of the week. Kier versus Ferg. These guys are competitors. They've been through it. These guys, they're competing for their shot to get into this fucking league.
Both good. They both have good teams. Honestly.
I know.
They do.
Goes home.
They do.
Loser goes home.
Yeah,
Both
seriously, this is a
teams
huge
should not
matchup. Game of the fucking week here. I got Ferg over Kier, though.
Ferg, yep. Ferg, too.
I'm going to go Kier. He's due.
He is due.
He's very due.
That's what I said last week.
So is Ferg, kind of,
Kier is
Ferg's got one.
4. I'm 3-1. Kier's scored, I think, over at least 10 more points than me. Computer's got Kier.
What the
4%
fuck
of the time.
Wow.
I hate
4% of the time. Rail versus Kiesler.
I got
Okay, it's going to be tough to bring down right
I got
now.
Rail.
Tyler has Rail. Trav has Kiesler.
Yep.
Boy,
Cool cat.
Computer likes Cool Cat 57% of the time. Last one, Gwill versus Rick. The Liberals versus the Conservatives.
Almost
Gwill.
game of the week.
I got Gwill.
Taking Gwill.
It's Will 100% of the time.
Rick traded his soul away when he traded Nixon away.
Don't love
I'm
that.
looking at the matchup.
Will, obviously, number one in the ranks, 72% of the time wins this one. I also have, we talked about the acquisitions. I have Haynes is first in points against, meaning he has the lowest points against. I believe he's 1-3. Troy is number one in points for. Kier is last in points, or he's first in points against, like he's got the most points against. Tyler last in points for. Trav, free hotel.
Yeah, I ended up talking to the GM after I talked to the bitch, Ashley, who didn't want to give me anything for free. And I just told the GM, listen, I thought we did the professional thing instead of me letting two girls go down to your main lobby and bitch about a bed bug and make you clean all of our luggage, make you switch us hotel rooms. And I told them that we were a valued customer. We'd be taken care of at the end of our stay. And we were not taken care of. We were laughed at. And we were pretty much accused of bringing this bed bug into your stay. Yes, we ended up getting it for free. It's
brought the bug in?
I don't think we brought the bug in. I mean, but shortly after Nato had some bugs at his place, hopefully he didn't fucking bring the goddamn thing with him. I don't think he did. If he did, this thing was carrying a family of like 6,000. So we're hoping that wasn't the case. Very extremely happy about that. I have one more thing I wanted to bring up too. Mike's diaper party. Wanted to have Mike's diaper party for him. Figured we'd get, 15, 20, 30, maybe 30 tops of our closest guy friends together and celebrate Mike's diaper party. This guy's already invited 138 people on Facebook. He's inviting every girl he's ever met in his life. And diaper parties are supposed to be just for fucking guys. Amber needed a Xanax last night to go to bed after she saw how many people were invited. And the deal, I mean, if
for a second kid.
If it's more than 30 people, we can't have it at my house, especially in November.
We're going to have to rent the firehouse out.
We're going to have to rent something out or something. And, Mike, I love you to death, but I ain't cooking pork butts for 138 people.
For the second kid.
When is it?
November 5th. Or 6th, whatever that Saturday is.
I made the mistake of putting Mike in control of letting him do invites. I thought he was going to invite like a couple guy friends that, I didn't know of that he wanted to invite.
Right.
I didn't know he was going to invite literally all of his Facebook friends. Like,
every single person.
I got the invite. And I got on to the Facebook group and I'm like, dude, I'm looking at the invites. I'm like, oh, cool. It shows you who he invited. I'm like, 180 people. And I'm like,
for
look
diaper
at
party?
people might show up. Like, why wouldn't they? Like,
yeah, in my house. Like, yeah, come on over. Like, fuck that. I'm sorry.
Like,
I want people. I want people at my house that I fucking know and trust. Like, not fucking. I'm sorry, Mike. I'm sorry. I think you misunderstood the whole me letting you invite people to invite over to my house. But
it's gonna be the biggest party ever.
Dude, you didn't go to the game, the Browns game. How was the weekend at home with the Bears?
It was great. Nato, though, Coach Stefanski over here, he knew every play. I mean, it's tough to watch a game with him because he is constantly yelling about how he would run the offense. It's tough, but, you know, love Nato to death. Can't hate on him at all today because he's already a little salty. He's already not in the chat anymore. I don't even know how he's going to see this fucking video. But
just search it on YouTube. He knows.
But listen, man, when you have, like, crazy takes and you're just like completely out there with some stuff, it comes with the territory. Some takes
when you got a
right,
big head,
some takes
like,
you don't. But like when you act that cocky, like you know every single thing in the world, you have to be able to take some sort of criticism.
I agree.
All right, Troy, questions. Troy, how's the baby?
Love you, Nato.
He's been great. He's all he wants to do is eat. He takes huge shits. I mean, he only cries when he's hungry. Like, I had to give him 5 ounces of breast milk today just to get him to quit fucking crying because 1 bottle wasn't enough.
Wow.
He just fucking.
Obviously, you changed the diapers.
Oh yeah. So he's a pig, like his fucking dad.
Yeah, he's fucking.
Hey, Trev.
For me. We
question: how much do you miss breast milk? Didn't you used to drink it straight from the freezer?
Tell you what, there's nothing better than breast milk and cereal. It's the
I
most
still haven't tried
you can possibly get.
Oh, Trav loved it.
Delicious. You can't get the frozen kind though. You gotta get it fresh, right out of the
Okay.
nipple.
I think that's like a black market thing you can get.
It's
Troy,
actually very popular.
Yeah, like Troy, biggest rival in the league.
Who is mine?
Yep.
Well, I'd say it's Nato now, since I started it today. And I reached out to the guy with a sincere apology through Snapchat, and so I could see if he saw it or not. He opened it, said nothing back, put a nice little paragraph in there apologizing it was wrong. I misunderstood the situation and got nothing back. So
and you know, sometimes
I'm coming for you, motherfucker.
So sometimes we do go overboard though, but you know what?
I told him I might have taken it a little too far. Takes a bigger man to
apologize. So kudos to you, Troy.
All right, questions from the other guys.
Yes, Troy, you ready for your questions? Are
yes.
you around the family?
No.
Okay, good. What's your first category you go to besides amateur on Pornhub? Yeah, I remembered that from last year. What a sick.
Give us we could like do like thumbs up or thumbs down so he doesn't have to answer.
Just like probably.
He's got headphones in. She can't hear.
No. I really haven't been looking at it much.
Good, because I don't have a question. So
I'll
take
bet, but your first chance too.
Because that's still my first one. But then, like, if you scroll away the bottom, it'll be like amateur wife, and then I'll click on that, and then it'll be like, and I'll just like my age group, you know.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now, also, I have another quote from Nato here.
Historically, does not like blowjobs. Troy does not like the blowjobs. He fast forwards past the blowjobs.
Yeah, I always do.
My favorite part.
So I have another question.
I got a question for Gwil.
So
keep it quiet. I'm in some trouble.
This is for Troy. Nato said this. He said after you quoted something that really pissed him off. I'm not going to rehash it, obviously. I think you're a big enough man to take this comment towards yourself and be okay with it. But he said, I don't bring facts about him making out with dudes on Molly because that's his business to come out of a closet. Is there any truth to this? Did you ever make out with any dudes on Molly? And is that really what you like to do?
That is 100% false. I think Tuna could vouch for me. I do get a little wild on it. I'll probably get naked maybe in front of dudes, but I've never made out with a dude.
On top of your car.
Yeah, I've ran around the neighborhood and
Maybe
I don't know. I don't even know if I got completely naked, but my clothes off and we went running around the neighborhood.
So you did the Thomas the Train thing or whatever. Frank the Train. Frank the Tank. God damn it.
Yeah, not to that extent.
All right, I've got one more question for you before I open it up to our other co-hosts if they have any other questions. What is your favorite N64 game?
I've never been a big N64 guy. Never owned one.
Mario Kart.
Like, we played Mario
if you had
Kart
to pick
in
one.
college, but I always sucked at Mario Kart because I played these guys that are fantastic at it, so I didn't really enjoy it that much.
I would ask you what your other favorite video game is, but probably be Madden.
What's the one where you're like a fox and you're in like planes and stuff?
Ooh, Star Fox 64.
That's my favorite one right there.
That's a good one.
I like flying planes and shit.
Very good. All right, I'm going to open it up to our co-host with questions here. Do you guys have any questions for Troy?
I already asked.
Will, do you want to go first? Or you want me to go?
I already asked him questions.
Yes, too.
Okay, Troy. If I go to a restaurant and I have a waiter and I order food from the waiter, and then I'm waiting for my food, who's really the waiter?
He's the waiter.
Actually,
You're both waiting. Like you're waiting. It's two different waitings.
But she has to wait for
question.
I do like that movie, Waiting. Never fuck with who cooks your food.
That's
we can only see half your head, Troy. We can only see half your head. There you are.
Troy, this can apply to Home Depot or UPS, but what's the craziest thing you've seen happen to a package?
I wouldn't say Home Depot just because nothing's intended there, but me, myself, I know I've taken a box and thrown it down, kicked it, torn it apart, and the insides of that box are just laying on the ground in the trailer, and then you just stack other boxes on it.
What does the customer do?
They'll just get a refund eventually.
Whoa, while we're on fucking over our customers, how many people have COVID where you're at?
He doesn't ever know where it got. I mean, it's gone once it gets in the truck. Anything could happen, right? Like,
Will, when's the last time you were around someone that died from COVID?
Not since February. But we're hitting it hard right now, boys. I was in bed with a COVID patient.
What?
4 or 5 days ago. So, if I don't get it now, I'll never get it. I promise you I'm immune.
Wait, are you quarantining?
Does Courtney know about this?
He knows. We had to tell all our friends.
Were you behind him?
Yeah, I'm always behind. I take them from behind. Make sure they can sit up. That's the life of a physical therapist.
Slowest, maybe longest perch FL yet.
All right, what's the question? Yeah, it's the longest.
Do you still point your toes when you come?
Yes.
One more question.
I can do it standing up, but I don't like to.
I've got one more question for Troy. It's a tough one. You ready, Troy?
Yeah.
When you were fucking Bree, did you ever think of Gwill?
Now why you gotta ruin the podcast? Like now we can't even post this.
What are you talking about? Yeah, right.
Yeah, we just end it.
It's an honest question. I want to know the fucking answer.
Amber's mad.
No.
Of course not. Now I say this to that. All right, guys. We will see you guys next week.
Oh man, what a
big episode.
Hey, everybody love everybody. All right. When you see a man down, you pick him up. You don't kick him.
Or you don't fucking brag about like bullshit about your picks, like because they're working out for 4 weeks.
Hey, Derrick Henry's better than Kamara. Get over it.
Yeah, no shit. Like, dude, you gotta post better in fucking 5 minutes.
And the season's still early. Anything can happen. Henry can go down next week.
I think we did this pretty well tonight, guys.
I thought that was a good one. Hey, all right, we'll see you next week.